Frankie and company. We are headed into the last game. I am WTF Moses, joined once again by Matrim. We are headed into what will be a very important game. We have $100,000 on the line. Space Station Gaming desperately holding on to second place. Tempo Storm in a commanding lead. And FaZe Clan looking for one more good game to try and displace that top end of the leaderboard. Matchroom, exciting times ahead.
Oh, there is so much that's going on in this game. We still have a 10-way tie for first bloods. So there's a good chance that whoever gets the first blood in this might be walking away with some of that free bounty cash coming out of it as well. I gotta say, really excited to see what's gonna be happening. We still have another polite plane path. Again, I gotta say, plane's been very nice to everybody.
Very kind plane path this time around. No harshness coming out, but now it's all about who is going to play the spoiler. Who is going to change it up going into this last game? These players all know each other. They've been spending time together, and now is it still time for friendship or is it time for aggression?
Oh, it's always time for aggression. When it's the last game of the day and there's that much money on the line, you just kill your friend and you go, hey bro, sorry
about this.
Sorry, I had to do it. Let's be honest, none of these guys will judge each other off of it, and I gotta say, I'm excited to see how this plays out. Really curious to see the first circle, because I know they were talking about they want a military-based game inside of the desk. I want a Stalber game, man. I love Stalber games.
Maybe it's time for the military base as well. We have yet to see one so far. We have seen a lot of relatively simple circles, but that has not taken away from the intense action here in beautiful Las Vegas at the Pan Continental. And look at this, the first blood might be happening with the Knights. They had a great game last time around, fell a little bit short.
Kramer with the save.
But Kramer comes in with the pickup, a little bit of a honks, a little bit of hey, how are ya? And off they go. I gotta say, Matrim, top quality. One of the best events I've ever attended. A huge shout out to everyone involved. I mean, Richard Lewis has crushed it once again.
Oh, this has just been such a great event. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. We hope that you're enjoying this PUBG event, as we now have our circle that has popped.
Wow.
Pretty do-centered. I think that's kind of the theme for what's been going on inside of this event so far. Very centralized circles, nothing too terribly crazy.
So I'm trying desperately to do the mental math here. Can FaZe clinch this? Tempo Storm would need to have a disaster game, and FaZe would, I think, need to win to get first place. But look at that point dispersion between second and third place. Only, what is it, 30-some-odd points, 40 points.
I'm not going to do rough math.
I think
it's
the
like
math
47.
They're very close.
Don't judge me, Twitch chat, if it's not 47. It's about 50.
I'm in esports, not mathematics. And look at Envious. They had an interesting little trade with Cloud9 last time around, but it didn't quite work out in their favor. Dignitas also right behind them. I mean, Totality also. These NA teams just not having that day 2 performance they wanted.
But look at this. We were talking about a lot of the guys on day 1. Analysts, I know a lot of the casters, we all chose Knights to really perform. Coming in that 4th place spot, really kind of sneaking up, overtaking Method, overtaking Optic inside of that last round. Totality, we were talking about, wanted to see a little bit more performance, you know, because they had a really good standing in 4th place spot coming into day 1. They drop back down, but they're sneaking their way back up there. You can tell nobody's checked out yet. Everybody knows it's still potentially possible. Everybody's fighting for those top 5 spots where the money is at.
I've always wondered about Space Station Gaming's strategy here. They're in the Fairy Pier area, not the best loot spot in the map. Vexel and company just trying to find that very important early game loot, and really they're not going to have a lot of chances to go anywhere else. FaZe actually getting a late start to their loot as well, making their way to Mill to Power, slow and steady. The Knights, you are correct, however, have had a good back half of the tournament. They're in the top 5 now, within striking distance of FaZe and Space Station Gaming. Really, the Knights are a candidate to sneak into the top 3.
I have to admit, I agree 100%. I think that they've been performing so well today. Now, one thing I did want to point out for all of you FaZe fans, I know in the interview we saw him say that, hey, we're feeling kind of unlucky right now.
Right.
It's important to know that FaZe is probably one of the most mentally resilient teams that I think that we can see inside of PUBG.
Yep.
Again, there's the Sunday that happens with FaZe every single time where they have a little bit of a weaker day 1 and then they just blow up on day 2. That takes a lot of mental resilience. So don't be discouraged, FaZe fans. You're probably still going to see them come out the gun. They're going to try to play their best. They're still going to perform. But Space Station Gaming might be in a little bit of trouble.
Vexel wants the crate. Frolicker there is to protect it. Looks like Frolicker is going to get the upper hand, scare Vexel away. Shoo, little Vexel, this one is mine.
Oh, yeah, making the run over for the crates. Did we get anything good inside of it? Let's see what's all that was worth. Og, A lot of people go back and forth about the AUG.
I don't.
like it.
Leave it in the crate.
I like it. Some other people don't
Smart
necessarily
move.
like it. He took it. See, look, he left his gun on the ground.
Yeah, well, I guess the M16 does fall a little bit short of the AUG, but not the best crate weapon. However, the helmet and the vest and that fancy backpack, always a bonus this early in the game.
Oh, yes. And so with this, we can see Tempo Storm, one of the teams that we're definitely going to keep an eye on since they are in that first place position. They're already moving out of their Gatka loot positions. Coming over here with Totality. Again, we talked about they were working their way up the leaderboard. They've got Yasnaya. Yasnaya usually can support 2 different teams, but we have them kind of holding it all by themselves. Nobody really wants to come up and contest, or at least even kind of split Yasnaya, for lack of a better term. So Totality has been getting a lot of nice loot locations, easy rotations out. And while they aren't inside of the circle, it's not too far away. It's about, I'd say about 1,000 meters away from them to make it in the circle.
Team Gates, one of a few. Oh, Method on top of Vexel. He did not find a place to call home, and AT is there to surprise him once again. Vexel has to know at this stage that this hill is Method territory. It's got orange flags planted everywhere.
Every single game, this is what we see them do. And again, we were talking about it in between rounds. This is what we want to see Method do. We want to see them get control over this area. The circle does favor Method, and it really favors this reposition. So that means it's really dangerous. You could almost tell that Space Station was like, okay, we saw Method really perform here. Maybe we can get there before them, and it just did not pay off. I'm kind of curious if that gave Method the first blood bounty money.
Indeed, yes, it did. That is the first person eliminated. Those bounties, a big bonus for those looking to make a little extra cash here in beautiful Vegas. The rest of Space Station Gaming now having to play once again off the back foot. The remaining 3 members taking this hillside cover. They have the vehicles, they have the natural cover, not too far from home in the first circle, but now they have to play very carefully. They could easily slip out of the top 3 if they have a poor game here.
I love how whenever we try to jump in every once in a while and you see everybody kind of like rotating out their loot real quick, like, okay, here's a first aid, here's some energy drinks for it. Hey, we don't promote that type of stuff on this stream here, Moses, okay?
Keep the pills to yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so on a different topic, Tempo Storm. So coming over here, they did regroup, and this is one of the things that I really like about the new version of Tempo Storm, where they separate out, they do that Gatka split, but they regroup very, very quickly now. Sharpshot coming up with the moves here.
Little flare coming out of Sharpshot. Obviously feeling confident after last game's insane performance. And for Sharpshot and the rest of Tempo Storm, they have to be feeling very good. A 400-point lead. Amazing performance so far.
And I love the fact that they're not playing ridiculously passive. You see that happen sometime. A team that gets into first place, they go, okay, that's it. We're just going to play the edge. We're going to let everybody fight, and we're just going to play for position. If we can just keep one person alive as long as possible, great. Tempo Storm's not doing that. They're still playing their game plan. They're still playing the way that they like to play, and I love seeing that out of the team.
I mean, this is one of the few tournaments I've seen in recent memory where Tempo Storm has done nothing different and has had success. We've had this question in the past. Does the Tempo strategy hold up? And in this tournament, it has. And really, that must be a big confidence boost for a team that, coming off the PGI qualifier, failing to get to Berlin, were considering their future as a team.
Well, they do have that little slight roster swap that happened, where they do have Wildcard coming in, giving them, that's going to be Sharpshot. But we do have Frolicker that's got a line on the Totality, guys. Lining up Smithy quite a bit. Got to knock him very early here. Got to reload. You know,
Patience.
Hey, this is the AUG. You got to reload it. Maybe that's the reason you don't like the AUG. Got to do the reload a lot.
Well, I mean, they all carry the same amount of bullets, Matrim.
I don't know. Actually, I do know, but it's just the fact that it burns through them so fast.
Absolutely, and Totality has lost a player here. So for Cloud9 actually getting very aggro on Totality. Taro kind of trapped between the Knights and Cloud9. Team Gates coming to investigate as well. So for Totality, they're in the middle of the leaderboard. They do have the ability to jump up a couple more places. They can get in the money, and that's where you want to be. So for the Knights, and actually Team Gates as well, they're looking to make a statement here in this last game. Not a good tournament for them.
Again, we still do see the lower part of the leaderboard very, very close. One strong game from any of these teams. If we see Cloud9, FlyQuest, Vitality, NRG, Gates really perform in this last round, really could step them up. And while it might be really hard for them to get into a money position, they can kind of step up and potentially give those bragging rights that we were talking about beforehand. Texas now we've got Texas doing a slow, sneaky move out of here. He's like, hey, thanks, guys. I'm out.
Texas making his escape, returning to his squad mates just a little further away. Nice centered first play zone, but that density is getting higher and higher. Optic coming in behind Team Gates, who still does not have Exco with them. Method trying to set up shop on the hilltop. Not surprising for Method.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we expected them to do. They're all going to regroup now. You can see that they separated out just to get a little bit more information, but they're going to get control over that hillside. Meanwhile, we've got CeeLo in a little bit of trouble as Optic look like they do have a beat directly onto him. Pan really keeping him alive as he is just throwing down every single smoke that he has.
CeeLo finding himself under pressure. Team Gates coming to support.
Headshore does line up the shot and connect on it, so that it's going to put a lot more pressure onto Gates, throwing out more smokes to give him a little bit more protection at this point. But I don't know, Mossy, it's going to be really hard to make up that position. That is such a risky res to go for at this stage of the game.
Team Gates is looking maybe for a low side position here. Exco also down. Valiate and Optic getting the upper hand on Team Gates. Exco is finished now. CeeLo trying to get away. The utility is already out. And again, Team Gates having a very tough start.
Yeah, I mean, you know at this point, they're just going to be playing full-on damage control. That's not what you want to be. If you're the last place team at the direct time, you want to come in a lot stronger than that, and now you just have no choice. You just have to go wait, hide somewhere, try to figure out a way to sneak inside of a circle, and that's not what you want to do at this point. Meanwhile, Alliance going up and active, getting a kill onto Raffi.
So for Method, they're going to be able to hold on to this hillside position for at least a little while, but now it's about FaZe. They are staying strong so far. All 4 players up. The initial rotation, okay. They've made their way into the eastern portion of the play zone. They've got their vehicles. They've got all their loot. Now it's a matter of mental toughness. You heard Hack say it. They're feeling a little bit unlucky. If luck goes on their side after this first transition, they may be in a position to displace Space Station Gaming above them and try and get in the reach of Tempo Storm.
Well, if you look at the different places that we're seeing the 2 teams play at, Space Station Gaming right now playing a very defensive position, really kind of hidden off into a corner. Meanwhile, we've got FaZe playing around a very aggressive part of the map where we can see a lot of transitions. You can see that they're hunting for those kills. They want to close this point gap. They want to try to make sure that they can take everything they can to just sneak their way up a little bit more.
Every kill solidifies their standing atop the leaderboard. For the rest of the field, it's all about pride. And for Shiv, he is not feeling it as he tries to skirt away of the Knights. Not going to happen. He will go down to Voxic's AK spray and will be finished off. Vitality's woes continue, but Voxic a little bit concerned about his positioning, backing off this open field.
I like this. He was standing up on top of the hillside, took some shots, didn't know exactly where anything was. He was like, hey, I don't see any other shots. Let's just retreat to a defensible position.
Doesn't need to stand and finish it.
Meanwhile, Venerated and his team, they're just trying to separate out, get away from Dignitas. Looks like they were taking a couple of pot shots at him as they jumped out of their vehicle. Meanwhile, we're back over here with Gates, with Mossy and Mortify, last 2 people surviving on their team, caught up in a fight with Totality.
Totality on the receiving end of a lot of fire here. Purdy having to back off into the yellow cabins. Los HD holding the low flank on the rock position. Team Gates has the opportunity to rotate around and take more pressure off of that flank, but it looks like Mortify is just going to hold on to this building as Vitality continues to receive pressure. The rotation's coming in heavy now. Tempo Storm actually being rebuked by FlyQuest, sending Sharpshot back to the edge of the play zone.
We're seeing kind of a repeat of what we saw in the last circles right now. Loss holding a nice position over there, trying to get some shots onto Mossy. Mossy still crossing over and through. FaZe going for a full-on reposition. This is very common. We know that whenever they go, they don't necessarily feel comfortable with their position. They'll separate out, go on this long northern kind of push, and then circle back in on the top. Now, Dignitas, just coming down from Severny, which is their normal home, means that they're kind of bumping into each other at this point. Everybody's just taking some pot shots at each other. But right now, I'm kind of curious to see how FaZe is going to play off of this, because they were playing a very aggressive position before. Now they're playing a lot more passive of position.
I think that this is a good choice from them coming in on the northern portion of the play zone. Only Dignitas on their trail. We've seen FaZe hold that position in so many different games in the past. Space Station Gaming, you could hear that silent shot of the M24 trying to reach out and find some kills. Looking like they're taking some shots at Method. Cloud9 and the Knights getting closer and closer together. I don't know what Krema is looking for. There's something that is grabbing their attention. I'm not sure, maybe it's Vitality or potentially Alliance, but the Knights just really trying to get as much visual information as possible.
It looks like he's just wanting to dance at this point. He's kind of doing little shake rounds, like look around.
Maybe baiting shots as well.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think they're just trying to gather information. They're in a very awkward spot to try to get any real info on what's going on around them. And they keep hearing fights that are happening right next to them.
Oh, and just barely misses Krema. Krema does bait those shots out of Moody, and he does take the bait. So now it's going to be the Knights knowing where Cloud9 is, and Moody, not with the support required, going for the bolt-action rifle rather than the AR, gets nothing out of that, hands Knights a ton of information. Right choice there by Moody, Matrim?
I mean, take the shot. You know, it's kind of risky at that point, going for something that could potentially be a one-tap. No harm in it. Naturally, if you leaned into something that had a lot more bullets to it and the first shot went wide, you could have potentially got the down on it. But let's be honest, even if you got the down, it would have been very hard to push inside of that position. So unless he hit a shot and then immediately followed up with another one and ran away, it would have been very hard to get any kills on that. Meanwhile, Tempo Storm still playing very aggressive. Look at this, just kind of strolling across the hillsides, not being afraid to look around, not being afraid to take fights.
They can hear the vehicles of Dignitas trying to skirt around behind them. 2 players made it so far, but Tempo Storm well aware of what's happening around them. Method again with a great control position. However, they have lost Raffi, don't have that 4 strong. So now a little bit on the back foot. And for Andy Pyro, no kills thus far, but he's got lots of meds. He's got that SKS. And I'm sure he's got the will to make a stand here, looking at his team in 5th place.
Well, we see this every once in a while, where a fight happens, a circle is similar to the last one, and everybody's kind of afraid to take the same spots around.
Just barely made it away. That vehicle smoking as Sharp Shot, the hero of game number 11 here in round 12, looking for more.
So with this, looks like everybody's getting pretty comfortable in their positions at the direct time. Tempo Storm actually playing along an edge position, still trying to hold out Dignitas. This seems to be kind of one of the bait points, because you can see Wookie Book, he's kind of trapped out there right now. He's got to figure out some way to make it in. Luckily, it's not too late of a circle yet, so he can survive in it for a little while. He's just kind of hoping that Tempo Storm gets distracted, decides to move, does something else, just that way he can try to make it over there with his friends.
FlyQuest, and look at this circle again. Water playing a factor, Vitality in the center. Space Station Gaming has a nice easy transition so far. Smurf already moving, the rest of Space Station Gaming coming in behind, but I'm a little concerned about how early he's moved. They do secure a shack, trying to, I'm not sure what they're trying to do here, actually.
I wouldn't secure a shack at this stage. That's too risky for this. I mean, I know that they do like to play passive, but that's just kind of putting yourself in a trap. So
Maybe
I
the
really
cliffs.
do appreciate
They're going
that.
for the cliffs, I think.
Pull away from that position. That's not the best of locations for you to play. You play that type of thing if you only have like one
Vitality's
person left.
there, I believe.
Oh, an H-Win in your car. It'll flip. It'll be fine. And so he'll pop back down. A couple of pot shots coming out his way, but I mean, he's essentially in safety at this point.
I like this hold. This is a good hold for them. Vitality is there. Don't crash the... Come on, don't do that. That's so risky. Vitality's right there waiting for them. They have to be very careful. They're just across the hillside. But for Space Station Gaming, risks may reap rewards this late in the game. Looks like they're going to try and preserve their vehicles. Maybe a little too hasty there by me. I think that might have been the right call.
Well, they kind of abandoned because they didn't know exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
Then they regrouped, realized that they were a little bit more safe than they thought, went back, recovered them, came back and forward. Meanwhile, we kind of see Method playing around the outside of FaZe at this point. Right on the edge of the circle, there is another squad that looks like it might be coming into third parties. It's going to be FlyQuest on the outside.
So for FaZe, they do have Method above them. Optic a little further away. FaZe, I think, likely not wanting to get too aggressive here, but they have the zone. And they have Method very nearby, but 8C must hear FlyQuest getting closer.
We've seen this from 8C so many times. This is like what he's
Here we are.
So
8C
unleashes. The shots early, gets one of them, looks back down. I think he did see Punich. Gonna step back and forward.
Baby!
Does get the down on the second one. He is right now just decimating FlyQuest. You can see that no other real vision coming at this point due to the nature of the hill. But this is 2 free kills coming off of this. I don't think the rest of the guys from FlyQuest are gonna try and make a push. Microstar's taking damage on the outside of this.
Ghost.
8C's in a bad spot now and just trying to drop back down, trying to get out of vision from everybody else. But FaZe hears it and they're coming up and alive.
They want the kills. Hacks in the lead position. Takes down Andy Pyro. Method on the back foot. Finished off does Mixie. Now Moldman trying to escape. He knows FaZe is pressing. FaZe giving up their very good position to try and take this hilltop. Moldman trying to escape. Ghost has done damage. Steezy is the last man standing from FlyQuest. Now it's up to only 8C and Moldman. Yempty now flying. Has the Car 98 in hand. Balak takes down 8C and finished off. So that's another Ghost kill secured.
Fourth party that time around.
Yeah, that's
fourth party
a lot
things.
Of big party happening.
That's the risk of going loud on one of these hilltops, because the moment you pull the trigger, suddenly everybody around spins back up and is just looking for some type of vision, because you want to try to hit those shots. Let's be honest, these are professional players. They can hit shots from so far away. It's so risky to crest any of these hills. Meanwhile, FaZe is just hunting kills right now. Turns around at the absolute wrong time. Steezy's still taking some damage on this, though. They just are not relenting.
GMT has the Car 98 looking for more jumps up. I might have spotted Steezy, but Mixie absolutely did. And that will be FlyQuest going out in 16th place. Poor finish for them. Their tournament is over, as is Andy Pyro's. But Team Gates
And a lot of trouble right next to NRG, just stacked up all by their lonesome. That's going to be one down coming out for it. Now it's just Mossy who's under fire by Cloud9 way off in the distance over there. So now he's just going to be forced to play full-on defensive. Got a little bit of the base still inside of the circle, so about to connect down and see where the new safe zone is. I think that's going to be the really telling factor for it because there's not a lot of territory to still play.
So for the Knights, they have an interesting spot here. They've got their vehicles kind of strewn around like toys. They have this hillside that they've been maintaining for the last little while. Cloud9 still relatively close to them. Tempo Storm playing it very, very, very passively, all on the edge of the play zone, only going to ride that zone in. It is Ghost taking shots at them, however. So I think they might have a bit of a issue ahead of them as they have to come into the zone, down this hill and into the open fields around Gatka.
So many open fields right now, and look at this. Knights is just coming after Mossy. I believe that Mossy is the last person left for Team Gates at the time. Just going to make the switch over to Frag Grenade. He's just trapped back behind there. Moody already got the kill, took him down. I think that's going to be it. And yes, Team Gates is now done, I believe.
What a disaster of a tournament for Team Gates. Unfortunate for those looking to take some momentum into the next tournament at Berlin. But C9 and the Knights, they've been kind of jousting with each other, if you will, so far, but now it looks like Cloud9 has the angles and they're looking to take down Texas.
So a slow retreat now coming back down the way 30 seconds before the circle starts to press down. Knights really need to get the kills and make it the lineup and get the knock onto one of them. Now looking out in the distance, can they connect with another one? Frolicker with that nice spike off to the side. Kramer under so much pressure right now. He's just trying to get some form of information.
Cloud9 on the back foot. Moody in a open position gets taken down first. And look at the wide peak in the shot from Stab. Takes down Texas. The utility now coming out. Knights not willing to relent so far. They have lost one, but looks like Moody is going to go down. Hetero is going to finish him off from long distance. The nade in return trying to finish off Texas. Lands a little further away, but does some damage. Texas trying to get away from this.
They're just making a little mini red zone over here as everybody's just throwing nades back and forth. The circle has started to collapse, so they know pressure's on. They have to get out of this fight, and they have to go as quick as possible. Meanwhile, you can see NRG is in the background. They hear this. They're slowly collecting information. They're making their way up the hillside. They could just come up right back behind Knights. Meanwhile, they're pincered right between Cloud9.
Disaster for Knights is looming. Energy gets closer and closer. The shots ring out. Kramer gets a shot in the back from Nerf. Nothing landing, only a little bit of damage. And now K-Mine will take down Texas. Kramer takes down Frolicker. This three-way fight is popping off. Energy has the full momentum, however. The Knights on the back foot. They're just trying to finish their kills. Riem and Cloud9 in horrible position here in the smoke, trying to go for the res. It's emergencies now. Knights trying to get away from Energy, but they have to deal with Cloud9.
You can see Knights, they're just like, okay, we'll separate out, move away from it. The circle is coming in. They just want to get into a position to get inside the safe zone and catch both of these teams because they know that there's another squad just hunting them down. Stab is up and alive. Spin comes back around from NRG. Cloud9 just cannot find anywhere safe as it's just squad after squad just walking through them. So that's going to be Cloud9 now eliminated. Knights still on that forward push. But look, Optic is way out over here. Remember, they took a couple of pot shots into this fight a second ago and stole a kill away. So they could just kind of be waiting in that same kind of position that Knights is trying to get to.
The Knights managed to escape certain death there as Energy pressed from behind. They find a nice divot in the play zone, and they have the zone on Energy. Now it's up to the Knights to repel the four-man push, but not going for it. Nice trade. Penta goes down, but takes down Vox in return. The high ground coming in. K-Mine looking to finish, and the Knights will be eliminated. That is the fourth place team going down in 12th place position in the final round. Energy playing spoilers for the Knights. Wow, unfortunate turn of events.
Now it's just going to come down to how does everybody else place. You can see that Knights fought their way to get up in that position. Now they have been taken down. FaZe also with a great line of sight onto this. Sure, it's a long-range shot, but there's a lot of these little mini skirmishes where people are just taking these pot shots at range, just seeing if they can get anything off of it at this point, because it's starting to get so dangerous. Because look back down here, Ghost is already trapped inside of a shack at this point with nowhere left to go.
The longer Tempo Storm stays alive, the further they solidify their position in the first overall spot. Space Station Gaming, however, has to get right through Envious, and it looks like they're going to get engaged here. Reels takes down Caden initially, but Wind looking to steal the kill. The M24 silenced with the 6X, looking to finish it off. Space Station Gaming has a nice angle here.
But they need to move. There's so many squads just caught up in this area right now. Circle's about to collapse in about 40 seconds. There's so many squads just stacked right now, and everybody's still caught in the stage of taking pot shots. This is just mutually assured destruction if these guys don't separate out somehow.
So for Space Station Gaming and Tempo Storm, they're going to be doing damage to each other. Alliance continues to erode Envious, and it looks like they're trying to get the upper hand is Envy, but they just can't quite get it started. D-Master and his squad have 20 seconds to make a decision.
Zampa just goes ahead and cuts for it. Meanwhile, Vitality is off in the distance as well. There are so many squads about to be stacked in this little bitty area. It's about to become who gets line of sight on who first. Dre is still caught way back in the back over there. Finally, Tempo Storm steps forward, gets some shots. Shadow goes straight down, but so does Maluk. Two people down from Tempo Storm right now. They're just trying to push out forward.
Almost.
It's just your boy Dre who's
Dre
way
left.
on the back.
Oh, wow. Tempo Storm, a huge disaster happening for them. It's only Dre. He has to sneak it in, but now he's in a position where he is the last lifeline between his team going out into 11th place. Space Station Gaming also on the move. They're coming into Envious. Space Station Gaming, this is critical for them. Venerated taking damage, and Space Station Gaming will eliminate Envious. And now it's all up to Dre. He has to come and save his team. Vitality there as well. Meanwhile, Ghost and Dignitas going at each other, and McCoy will finish them off. A complete team wipe. He's all right. He's got a med. Just got to stick a needle in your arm, put the fire out. Everything's going to be great. Now, Space Station Gaming trying to steal some kills here, getting some kills on Tempo Storm. Ghost is down the hill. Now, Dre coming from behind. Space Station Gaming wondering, who are we missing?
They're just playing off of this. Look at, he's playing right along the edge. They knew that this was going to be hot. Ghost is just coming off of a strong fight, but you know that they are damaged. If they do step out and look this direction, they can easily spot Dre. He's just trying to met up as much as he can. He wants these squads to fight each other. He is just playing for survival at this point. Meanwhile, we got Space Station Gaming pushing down the hillside. Looks like they're going to be running right into Alliance.
So for Vitality and Space Station Gaming, a three-way fight still underway. Wow, Win takes down Sigsy and Monkey, and now this is going to be Dre in the back foot, but he's receiving fire. This is disaster looming. Tempo Storm has the zone. They don't have anywhere to go. Tempo Storm, they're going to be eliminated here. Dre has to make a drastic movement here. Oh my God, and he will not make it. It's actually
FaZe.
It's Hexetti stealing the kill.
All the way across the circle. I'm talking on the exact opposite side of the circle because there is such a low ground position inside of this. Space Station Gaming now dropped down to one.
Smurf
running down. He's just trying to make his way, but Ghost is waiting for him, tears him apart. So Space Station Gaming now out as well.
At FaZe, they are the last out of the top three left standing. All these middling teams are destroying each other in the mid-game. Hax and the crew have the hillside cover locked down, 4 strong. Optic at their feet. Great positioning from FaZe. They could steal this tournament.
This is exactly where we saw positioning coming out. If you remember, Method was holding this hill earlier, and then we saw Knights holding this low ground position. We've just kind of seen the squads replace out. FaZe taking these shots. Remember, whenever we saw your boy Dre die, it was a further shot than this we saw FaZe get.
It was Hax stealing it with the SKS. They have 3 kills total. Now in a minimum of 6th place. They have a great hillside position here. They have their vehicles to move down into the field, which it looks like that's where we're going to be ending.
I think it's going to come down to now, how many kills can FaZe get? Can they somehow try to usurp this lead that we can see from Tempo Storm? It's going to be hard, and I don't know if there's enough people alive. Meanwhile, Optic is under so much pressure.
Valiate.
Somehow Valiate stays alive through the smoke. Meanwhile, Moleman is just watching all this like, no,
thank you.
You don't come over here. You stay over there, and you stay involved in your fight, please.
FaZe has to be careful here. I think taking this fight, when they can skirt away, just throw some grenades, get the utility out. Optic has no movement options ready for them. So now it's all about FaZe trying to manage this circle and get into the play zone. Interested to see how Tempo Storm is managing after their horrible finish in this game.
At this point, they're just kind of kicking in, breathing for just a second.
I'm really liking the way that FaZe is playing this right now. They have taken down Turtle. For Mixie and company, they're having to use a lot of meds here. Optic being so close to them is a huge issue. So now you have to wonder, these vehicles are going to be of critical importance. They're going to have to set up this fort.
Look at this.
And look at Moleman.
Man, what is it with Method?
It's always Method.
They're so sneaky. Like, you can't practice this. This is just like an innate thing that happens at some point.
Look at Sharpshot. He is really concerned with how this game has turned out. Dre and company. Oh, Moleman's on top of him.
How did he miss that?
Oh, no. And Moleman will take down one, but meanwhile, Hax is going to follow that up. They do pick up one. They did lose a player, however. They didn't leave it for naught because Valiant is going to go down, but Energy is stealing those kills from across the way. Fuzzface has the zone, still 3 up. Yempty wasn't aware of Moleman, but they did recover okay. The zone has taken a lot of toll on Energy, however, But Vitality, quickly, very quickly, we are finding our way into the top 5.
And so with this, you can see down on the mini-map, a large separation coming out from the guys from FaZe. 2 different points, but this is bad. FaZe just got knocked. He was separated all by his lonesome, so that means that they have to choose. They're going to make the hard run over.
They're going for it.
NRG is in a position, but you can see there's a lot of little guys hiding out over there. We have 3 teams remaining. We've got FaZe positioned right here.
Nice.
We've got NRG off in the distance, and we've got Ghost that just got killed.
Wow, so Mixie's playing the high side cover. He's the sniper on the hilltop. Look at this teamwork from FaZe. They made a drastic vehicle push. NRG has no cover, and just like that, it is going to be FaZe looking to secure the last game of the day. They're 4th with 7 kills. Tempo has got to be feeling the sweat now. NRG in the open.
But FaZe is bleeding out so quickly right now. You can see it off in the distance, trying to get the shots on it. Mixie has to line these up. He has to connect. He has to get this down as quick as possible.
Oh, it's coming in return.
He steps back around. He's got near on no life. FaZe is still slowly bleeding. Hexetia's got the position. Keep in mind, 30 seconds before the circle does collapse. So even if they do win this fight, they still have to push back down and through.
Look at the utility. Mexi staying calm and cool. He wants to smoke out. He's wasting a ton of time. NRG has pushed him, but has given up the zone. FaZe has the advantage. NRG is going all at Mixie, but they've completely lost the zone. Now it's all about the res, fuzz, FaZe, and hacks. Nice shots from Mixie. He is trying to take control here.
The flank, though. It's coming off the outside from him. He has to hold this. He makes a switch over to the UMP.
Mixie's going
trying to go for the high ground position. If he can line up just one of these shots, it could be so influential right now.
They have no way to see him. The smokes are there. He just needs to draw them into the open so his teammates can provide support. Mixie and NRG might go 2 for 1 here. Mixie trying for a flank of his own. He's coming on the low side of the hill. K-Mine shooting at his teammates. Look at the composure. He doesn't know where Penta is. The smoke is dissipating. He spots him, and now the shots come out. Mixie will take down Penta. Now it's up to him. He's going to secure the victory for his team. It's all about FaZe. They may be able to displace Tempo here. Mixie looking to close.
Looking up the outside, knows exactly where K-Mine is, goes for the reload, goes for the outside shots onto it. It's a retaliation back and forth, and K-Mine somehow lives,
FaZe!
But it's going to be the circle that takes him down, and FaZe gets the win.
Oh my God, FaZe leapt out and grabbed that, securing a victory here. They, one of the top 3 teams, the others going out much before them. Wow, what a finish. The composure from FaZe, Frankie and company. Amazing, amazing finish.
I feel incredibly breathless now after that, and I can't wait for production to tally up those scores and confirm for us once and for all who has won the PUBG Pan-Continental Showdown and the other teams that will be taking home money. But FaZe up, 4th chicken dinner of the day, Martin. Kind of expected they could bring it back, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was absolutely insane. I didn't expect that to happen. Space Station Gaming going out early, Tempo Storm going out early. I'm not sure who's going to win.
It's a dream scenario for FaZe, isn't it, Boro?
They needed so much to get to hop up from 3rd to 1st. And did they do enough? I don't know. But Tempo got to be grinding their teeth right now. I'm feeling confident. I'm going to say NA won it. I'm sticking with it.
You think Tempo still won? We do know who didn't win, who didn't get a chicken dinner, don't we, Porosaurus? We did the handshake earlier.
Oh.
Luckily for you, we did not decide a forfeit. Just a reminder for anyone watching, we discussed Optic, and Poro said, yeah, of course Optic Gaming are going to get a chicken dinner, and I cried foul. Yes.
They came in
foul.
5th.
They came in 5th. But the point was they didn't get a chicken dinner. Anyway, less about that and more about our top 3 teams. We've got Tempo Storm, Space Station Gaming, and FaZe. Now, FaZe and Space Station Gaming were about 50 points apart when we went into that round. So surely FaZe have got to come above Space Station Gaming now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, FaZe, they 4 chicken dinners today. They got first here now in this game, and Space Station Gaming went out early. So I think they have definitely taken them over. But I'm not sure if either Tempo or FaZe have won this.
Poro, what are you thinking?
You know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking North America, baby. I'm thinking North America is going to take this one, and I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I've just heard in my ear, I can confirm, and I think we suspected. Poro is right. Our winner of the very first PUBG Pan-Continental is Tempo Storm! Congratulations, boys. And that winning moment is brought to you by the Republic of Gamers. And you can find out more about all our sponsors underneath the Twitch video player. We've got some exclusives for you, so be sure to check that out. And I think that does mean that FaZe have come in second. So they didn't quite ace it on Championship Sunday, but very nearly, Martin.
I mean, 4 wins out of 6 games, that's absolutely insane. And also, it talks to how bad their first day was. I mean, they got 15 and 16 the first 2 games. I feel like they didn't get enough warm-up. If we had 3 days instead, I mean, it could have been looking different. But I'm just happy, Tempo Storm was my pick for today, and they showed up. They won their first major LAN, so I'm happy for those guys.
I was going to say, actually, without predictions, okay, so Sim said Tempo, Matcham said Tempo, and you said Tempo. However, you didn't say Tempo on day 1, did you, Martin? You said Pittsburgh Knights?
I said Knights, yes. I did.
And Knights, I don't know where they are. They might be 6th?
I think they are close to the money, or they might be in the money. I'm not sure 100%, but obviously they had such a horrible day, so they had to swap over and join the NA side.
Yeah, well, let's see actually where they came. Our standings are on the screen now. My eyesight is terrible. I believe Pittsburgh Knights are 4th.
Yeah.
So actually not too far behind our top 3. They will be going home with some money at least. But there you can see it, Tempo Storm's very first win on LAN. Very exciting. Porosaurus, you were saying that NA teams have been involved, or NA teams have won all the LANs that you've been involved with.
Every LAN that I have been to, a North American team has won. Just saying, just saying. And not to mention the fact, look, North America came out swinging in day 1, but props to the EU teams. After they got settled, they came in here on day 2 and they put on an absolute performance. FaZe, obviously FaZe, how can I say, 4 wins, 6 games, that's unreal. But Pittsburgh Knights, Method, all of these guys playing just absolutely great once they got in there.
3 out of 5 in the top 3 is EU.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, who's number 1?
Look, boys, the thing we can agree on is the fact that PUBG Esports is best when we see EU and NA come together. But we need to head over to Mustache Dave. He's got our final Dollar Shave Club interview with our runners-up, FaZe Clan.
All right, $20,000, not including the bounty. Yesterday, you guys had a rough start. Today, the comebacks were real. You guys have to be happy, right?
Yeah, we're kind of happy with today. We are. 4 wins on 6 is fine.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy for the guys. Like after yesterday, we talked over and we found ourselves again, and getting second here was almost a win for us. And now we're gonna win the next one. We have the confidence back. We have our gameplay, so this is a win for us. Tempo Storm was just better today, and they deserve it. They played really good.
Yeah, they played better. We found our game style again, and it feels good now.
All right, can I get a big face hug before you guys leave, though? Big face hug. Come on. Face hug, face hug. All right, well, I'm Mustache Dave. This has been a phenomenal event. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Dave. We love you so much, and I really want to be part of that little snuggle. I was so tempted to run over, but I need to get your final thoughts, unfortunately. No hug time for Frankie just yet. Martin.
Honestly, the atmosphere has been amazing. Being so close to the players, we're not locked away in the studio, so amazing. Amazing atmosphere, amazing tournament, and really just happy to be here.
Absolutely. I mean, every PUBG LAN just keeps getting better and better, and this one is just by the pinnacle. I mean, this was amazing from every aspect, and I'm so fortunate to have gotten the opportunity to work with Martin once again, and with you, the greatest host on earth, Miss Frankie.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much. No, the best head host, right? I'm sadly not the best host, but we're working on it. We're working on it. Thank you so much, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Don't worry, guys. We're not going anywhere. We're just hopping over to the side, but the show will still go on without us. I want to say a massive thank you to production and these guys as well. But we're going to head over to Club Casters, where the drinks are free, but there may not be enough for everyone because it's a very small room. And after we see the casters, we're going to see Richard Lewis on stage with our winners, Tempo Storm. So do stick around. But for now, casters, it's over to you, and it's goodbye from us.
Thank you so much, Frankie. I have already got my drink started here, and what an amazing tournament. I mean, start to finish, there was drama at every turn. I chose FaZe to win it all. They came so close, but overall, a great effort on day number 2. But we were just talking here a minute ago. I mean, Matcham said it. They were one good placement away from potentially stealing this tournament.
I mean, we just saw, it was such a great event for all things considered. We saw so many great performances, so many standout plays from so many different teams. I know that we're talking about the leaderboard right now, but everybody that participated inside of this event should be very proud of participating. I just want to say thank you to all the teams for being involved in it. It's always a blast to do these PUBG things, and just like Pora, I believe, was saying a second ago, every single event for PUBG just keeps getting better and better.
It's, you know, when everyone tries, all these different TOs are coming into the fold and everyone's trying to not necessarily outdo one another, but make things better, make changes, make things bigger, try different things. The only people that kind of, you know, benefit from it are the players and the people who watch at home. Competition breeds the better out of everyone. And PUBG as an esports, it's on the uprise. The viewership today has been ridiculous.
Amazing,
to be honest.
yeah.
Shout out to Dave as well. I mean, holding a conversation.
I can see Richard. I can't see Dave.
30 minutes to hold viewership. You usually see a slide when there's a break. Viewership just takes a nosedive.
And on top of that, doing like a push-up contest while you're after 30 minutes of
I don't know if he almost won or not. I think. What do you think?
We'll say almost.
Close?
We'll say almost.
I mean, he was going up against someone who's very, very strong.
We'll say almost.
But yeah, guys, for me, like this was just amazing, just the event as a whole. And honestly, you know, talking about the format and like day 1 to day 2, it got better. You know, it got better by a lot. And not only that, it got as close as it could possibly get at the end there. I was holding my breath. We're like looking at the scenes, like, what is it going to look like?
So close.
I don't know if that's a testament to the competitive scene of PUBG where it wasn't NA dominance, it wasn't EU dominance, right? It was actually very balanced. I feel like day 1, mostly NA, but then EU kind of came back on day 2, and that was really fun to see the fire ignited underneath them. And then for me, as a guy who's done plenty of different video game tournaments, I've always been a fan of PUBG. So I want to thank you guys for having me, because it's my first time doing a broadcast
I think
here,
just final comment from me, if there's people out there who have been introduced to this as a new standpoint, you know, there are a lot of people involved. This is kind of only the touching point. There's a bigger scene behind all of this. There's a European scene, a North American scene. You know, we have an Eastern and Western scene. It's massive, it's getting bigger, and honestly, it's going to get better. PUBG's good.
Don't forget about PGI Berlin coming up in just a second. So that way, if you like this, be sure to tune into that too.
Absolutely, and what a tournament it has been. But now we are going to take it over to Richard Lewis, who's on stage. And Richard, you have, I'm sure, some great thoughts.
Yes, thank you very much. It's great to be here to sort of close out the show. It's been awesome. And when I was planning this out, I was talking with the talent. I'm going to let you guys into a secret here, Tempo Storm. They said it couldn't be done. They said an NA team could not win, even in NA. Dre, what you got to say about that, man?
I mean, we proved that NA can win. We're the most consistent, and we got the win, so, yeah.
And I knew there was going to be 2 words in your mouth. I was hoping you would say it for me. Who's going to say phase down?
Phase down.
There it is. That's why Dre's here. That's why I got Dre. But seriously, I know you made a recent change to your team. It was around about May, I think. You brought a new player in the form of Ben Q, right? What's that done to the team?
I mean, it's really increasing our fragging power. Like, we're now one of the top fragging teams in NA, I believe, and we can take on any team, no matter what.
And just final thoughts, where can this team go now? It's your first major win together as a team. Are there more coming?
For sure. I mean, we've performed at pretty much every LAN we've been to, like top 5, but we're tired of that. We want to win. So now we got this win, and we're ready to get more.
Absolutely awesome. So, round of applause for Tempo Storm. Let's get this check on. This is what it's all about. Great, expertly done. Hold this for me, boys. There you are. 50 grand. There's a lot of good places to spend this kind of money in Vegas, but there we have it. So we're going to wrap up the show. I want to thank everybody who's been involved over the course of this, all of the crew, all the people who are watching, all of the amazing talent we had on air, and of course all of the players and all of the teams. It's been great. The World Showdown at Esports will be back soon, so stay tuned. But for now, we're going to play you out with a highlight reel of all the best moments of the tournament. Until next time, take care.